Here's one of the least expensive and fastest ways to build a railing. The fastest way to start is to pre-cut all your pickets and then go along and set the screws in while you're down on the ground in a good, easy position to do it. So to figure out where we should start from, so we'll land evenly on both sides, I'll first measure the total distance, which I did. That was 138.5. So half of that is 69.25. So I put a mark right there. Now, the trick to make this really easy is to take your tape measure and mark the spacing of how far apart each of your pickets is going to be on the tape. So I did that with my pencil here. And in my case, I'm going to go 5.25, which is the maximum that you can do with a 2x2, because I need 3 3/4 between, which is a quarter less than 4. The rule is a 4-inch sphere should not be able to fit through your railing anywhere, which 3 3/4 is smaller than 4-inch, and that's probably the minimum you could do that's reasonable. With that spacing, what you find is the distance between pickets from start to start is 5.25. So with that in mind, I mark 5.25 on my tape, and then 10.5 and so on all the way down. And now all I have to do is come to the center here, and I can check. All right, so let's say I put a picket at the center. So I put my mark at the center. I can see I'm only like an inch off that post, so that's not gonna work because the picket almost wouldn't even fit there. And if I left that last picket out, the gap would be too big. But my only other option is to position the center between two pickets. So if my spacing is 5.25, I'll go 1, 2, and 5/8, and I'll position that at the center. So the distance between my last post and my first picket will be 2 3/4 inches if I did my math right, which is pretty reasonable. It's a little smaller than the space between the rest, but it's not super tiny, and it'll match from the left and the right. So I'm going to be happy with that. All right, let's do it. So I cut this block to 3 3/4 inches.
So